Use your redemption period. Hi, my name is Julia M. Spencer. I'm a real estate advisor, investor, and your number one source for real estate advice online. And in this video, I'm going to answer a question I had from a dear subscriber, thank you, about redemption periods and what we can and cannot do in redemption periods. So I got a question from the subscriber on my Instagram asking me what can he do during his redemption period. He's basically looking to purchase a property at a tax sale, foreclosure, auction, a lien, and it's in the state of Alabama, which is about 3-year redemption period. And what can he do in those 3 years? Can he take possession? Can he rent it and collect rent on it? What can he do during those 3 years? Because 3 years, quite honestly, for all the states that we've researched on this channel and all the questions you guys have asked me, that's a very long time. It's actually one of the states that has the longest redemption periods. And if you don't know what a redemption period is, please check my other videos. I'll explain that. But 3 years is a very long time. And during that time, your money, of course, is tied up and you can't do anything with this. So what do you do in those 3 years? So my suggestion was that I don't know exactly for the state of Alabama, but if you have this question about the state of Alabama, I'm going to research that and put it at the bottom of this video here. But basically what you need to search for is, does that particular state have any kind of immediate possession rights for people that purchase properties at a tax lien auction? So what that means is, even though there might be a 3-year redemption period, you might still, as an investor that purchases that property at the tax sale, you still might be able to take possession right away and actually rent it and maybe minorly fix it up enough to rent it out. You can basically do that in some states. I'm not sure about the state of Alabama. I'm going to check on that. This is something that you check with the local attorney, but you can also ask the authorities that are actually conducting the sale to see what the rules, regulations are for that particular auction. And there might be some sort of instructions that are given on the auction website if that's where you're going. You can also ask the tax commissioner directly or the officials that are actually conducting the sale, just to ask them, hey, once I purchased this property at the tax sale, I realize there's a 3-year redemption period. Do I have any possession rights during those 3 years? And they'll be able to tell you. Now, mind you, if somebody's living in that property right when you purchase it, even if you have immediate possession rights, you might still have to go through the process of eviction if somebody else is living there. And that can add more months and weeks for your time as well as money. So you got to be very careful. You got to know those laws in your particular state. This is something that we do in my individual coaching classes. If you approach me for individual coaching, we'll work through all the details. So for the state of Alabama, I told this particular subscriber, is not my market, I don't know, but I can tell you where to check up on that information. That would be with a local real estate attorney, also with the tax commissioner's office or whoever is conducting that particular tax sale. Okay, so the next question, what can you do in those 3 years if you don't have possession rights? So do you just sit around for 3 years and wait till the property just kind of, I don't know, sits around? Maybe this particular property has a hole in the roof, and over 3 years of somebody not maintaining and taking care of that little hole, it could potentially cause a big problem with this property, and this is something that you might want to take care of. But if you don't have possession rights, you legally don't have the right to actually go to the property and do any repairs and step foot on it. So you're like in a really weird space there where you don't want to be. And by the way, this has actually happened to me on several occasions where I was written up by the county and by the city to take care of maintenance issues that were visible from the street, but I had no possession and no access rights to the property. But basically what I'm trying to say, don't wait those 3 years and do nothing. It is your job in those 3 years to basically find out who owns this property, somehow approach them, maybe by mail, maybe you can find a phone number or some other means, social media maybe. Contact them and ask them if there's any way they're willing to let go of this property, maybe for a payment, maybe for some sort of fee. And It is a fee that you likely will pay anyways at the end of your 3 years, because you have to do a quiet title probably. You'll probably have to do some more maintenance. You'll probably have to do some issues with title search, and all of these things cost money. It is very good to just collect all that money in one big bunch and approach the actual owner, the rightful owner at that time, and say, hey, I got this money, I'm gonna spend it anyways. Why don't I give it to you and you write me a quitclaim deed, and then we avoid this whole 3-year waiting period, and we avoid having to contact a lawyer and all the extra expenses. Not saying this is gonna work, it's just an approach. I've done that as well on a couple of occasions. Usually it's not really successful, because the problem with this is a lot of these properties that I buy, the owner actually is deceased. So the property is kind of a little bit in a no man's land. Some heirs may own it. They may not know that they own it. There might be an undisclosed or unknown amount of owners that all have like a partial ownership. And what is the worst that can happen is that the property is currently in probate court, which means a judge is looking to decide what property of that particular deceased person goes to where. And of course, they have to settle all the debts first from that person. This is a process that takes a long time. If a property that you bought at a tax sale foreclosure or tax lien foreclosure is in probate court or nearly going there, then you might have to wait until the probate judge decides whatever is done with that property before you can proceed with collecting your penalty, your interest rate, or even foreclosing or doing anything with the property whatsoever. So you got to be very careful. A property goes to probate court when there is no will, usually. Sometimes it goes to probate anyways, even if there is a will, but of course that's a lot quicker because then it's written down exactly what happens with the property. So decide, or no, don't decide, but basically check to see if the property used to belong to a deceased person. If there is a will, you can check up in probate court for that. And if it's not, if there is a will, or if there's a certain amount of heirs that are listed, you would actually need to have to contact all those heirs and ask them all to agree to basically give the property to you, quitclaim deed the property to you for a payment of a fee. It's unlikely if there's more than 1 or 2 or 3 people that they all agree on the amount and they all agree to this. So you have an uphill battle there. So it is always better to purchase a property like that that didn't belong to a deceased person. The estate is still responsible to pay the taxes, but all I'm saying is it's going to take more time to settle this particular estate and for you to get the payout, whichever payout that you require, may it be the penalty, the interest rate, or the actual property. So that is kind of like, I know it opens more cans than I actually closed with this video, but if you have any additional questions, please send me a message. You can put it at the bottom of this video. You can also just email me directly and check out my audiobooks, my information, my coaching, and I look forward to help you further with this. We're getting in kind of like the legal area, and I want to let you know I'm not an attorney. I'm not licensed to practice law in any state of the United States. I'm simply a real estate investor. I've been doing tax sale foreclosures for a very long time, so I know a couple of things or 1 or 2 things here and there. So I want to just give you the things that I've learned. So these are kind of like the starting steps of your research that you need to do on your own. So I hope you have a great day investing. Make sure you subscribe on my website right here and leave me comments, suggestions, anything that you find useful or hurtful. I don't care. Just leave me all the comments that you want to send me, and I look forward to hear from you. Have a great day. I don't know why this is here. Can we just get rid of that? What is that? Wish I could just hang something over it. It looks like so out of place. What's this video about? Repair issues, maintenance issues, maybe a roof in the ceiling, in the roof, and I mean a roof in the ceiling. Really? Really, Julia? Okay.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.